If you believe the universe is always there, you still have an issue there. Why? First issue is you go against the consensus of science today. The universe has consensus of science today. The universe has a starting point, right? Which is referred to as...
We don't know that, but like in the sense that...
We have evidences for it.
Yeah, but there's also in terms of a receding universe, which then... If
I'm going to come to that. I'm going to come to that. But I'm saying to you, you're going against what majority of scientists believe today. That's the first thing I'm saying, right? Which you would agree with. You are going against what majority believe. Second thing, we say even if we were to take the idea that the universe is eternal, you will still need an explanation for the universe. Why?
But in the same reason, you still need an explanation for the creator.
No, because it's again a false equivocation. So there are things in the universe that does not apply to God. And because they are in the universe, you will need an explanation. Like for example, I'll give you an example, right? The universe is composed of parts.
Yeah.
These parts are arranged in a certain way. They could have been arranged in a different way, right? We could have the earth in place of sky and the sky in the place of earth. We can have instead of trees, green being blue. You get the point? So the parts of the universe, you can have planet Earth where Jupiter is and Jupiter where planet Earth is. So the universe is composed of parts. These parts are arranged in a certain way. You would have to bring an explanation to why they are arranged the way that they are arranged. While the creator, we don't say that he's composed of parts. We don't use this terminology with the creator. So you cannot use the same argument with the creator and say, oh, also the creator requires an explanation. Do you get the point?
I guess in my idea, the creator for me would be stuff like the four fundamental forces of the universe, stuff like gravity.
I would say humbly, then you have a reason why you don't want to believe in a creator. Because you don't mind accepting the idea that there is something eternal with all the attributes of God, but you would rather call it the universe rather than call it a creator. Then you would it's not a rational point of view then you have a reason deep down why you don't want to believe in a creator, which is fine. You can do that. We don't force anyone to believe or disbelieve. You get the point? But in the end, if you accept that the universe has the qualities of a creator, you are believing in some sort of a deity.
In terms of like being rational, I think it'd be irrational to assume either or. That's why, like, I mean,
it would be irrational to assume that something that has a beginning requires something to bring it into existence?
Yeah, no, but the assumption that there's a creator, or the assumption...
Sorry? Because something is in existence. Do you believe someone made this book?
No,
you get the point. You get the point, right? Because something is in existence, you have to assume it is something.
Whether the creator is the Islamic creator or the creator is just the universe is always there,
that's a good question.
Or the creator was the Christian God.
It's a good question.
It doesn't matter for me, and I think rationally there's
Can I tell you why it matters? Look, it's a valid question, but first, if we ask that question, then we already assume there's something out there, but we're asking what is the description? Is it the Islamic description, the Christian description, or a deistic description where God is not even personal, does not deal with the universe, right? You say it doesn't matter. I'll tell you it matters a lot. Why? Because if the God of Islam were to be actually the God of Islam, as we assume, right? Truly, then if you die, there is consequences in the afterlife. There is hellfire and there is paradise. So it does matter because your life wouldn't end there. So if there is a creator, we need to make sure whether these claims and these books that are out there are actually real or not. If you were able to falsify Islam and Christianity, etc., then I would say to you, it makes sense what you say. We don't have any evidences for what the creator is, and therefore you can do whatever you want to do. But we claim we have evidences, right?
Why should I believe in Islam rather than other religions though?
Good, because what Islam offers you is no other religion offers you. That's the whole point, right? We say, I personally, I'm making this claim now.
All of history. Like I don't mean like Buddhism, Christianity, or Islam. I mean like the millions.
Indian religion, in general. Yes, we say if the creator created you and is giving you a purpose, it would be rational to assume that it's fine. It's easy for you to find the purpose. Because if it wasn't easy for you to find the purpose, then there is no point of giving you purpose to begin with. Now, if it's easy for us to find the purpose, that would mean... I'll explain. I'll come to that. Purpose, why you were created, why do you exist, why you brought into existence, why the universe brought it into existence, why is everything in existence, right? We say, if there is truth, it has to be in a religion which is easily accessible. Because, as you said, there is millions of religions. Every day someone is making a religion. If the truth were to be there, then it would be impossible for people to find the truth. Then there is no point for them to have something to be called truth to begin with. So we say, you have to look at the major religions that are easily accessible, investigate them, look at them, and you will end up finding that Islam is the truth. That's what I'm saying, right? So that's what I did. And that's why that would be a rational thing to do. You don't have to accept my conclusion, but you would see...
I can appreciate that.
Yes, but you would see that, which is a claim I'm making right now, and I'm willing to discuss with anyone, anytime, that Islam is the only religion that can provide evidence for its miraculous origin. That's the claim I'm making.
It doesn't give. You keep saying evidence, but your evidence is just this concept of a creator.
How do you know? You didn't ask me.
Oh no, but when I asked you like how the universe was created, you mentioned that.
I'm talking evidence for Islam, not evidence for existence of God. It's two separate things, right? You were asking. We came to the idea of existence of a creator.
Evidence of Islam and
evidence for the truth of Islam.
Yeah.
What it claims about that entity. The description of the entity is different for whether the entity exists or not. They're two separate topics. You get the point? Like someone can believe in God, like this gentleman here, but doesn't believe in Islam. You get the point?
Yeah.
So Islam has evidence separate from the existence of the creator. These two separate topics. So I'm talking about Islam now. But when it comes to the creator, even if I were to ask you this, who said that using reasoning and rationality and deductive reasoning is not evidence? Because I am giving you evidence through deductive reasoning. Why is that not evidence?
God gave us a reasoning mind.
Yes.
Yep.
So we say that even rationality is a form of evidence, you know?
It's a false conclusion, I think.
Why? Tell me what about what I gave you in the reasoning is forced.
Well, that because something happened, there must be a creator.
Did I say that? You're
No,
misrepresenting
but
my position.
In terms of the start of the universe, you said there must be a creator which created the universe.
I said if the universe is in existence,
Yeah.
I'll repeat what I said. I said the universe is in existence. Universe has a starting point. It requires something else. Yes.
It's technically not actually the starting point of the universe.
What is it then?
They're physicists at Imperial College.
You don't know technically.
We reach infinite conclusions and we don't know.
We don't know if there was a beginning of time. The Big Bang was a time where matter came into being, where the universe expanded, but we don't actually know if there's a starting point in time because we can't see back.
We don't even we can't even understand.
So we
time.
don't know what was before the Big Bang. We don't know if the Big Bang was the start. It's not,
Did the universe
God was before the Big Bang.
Do we say that the universe we're living in started expanding from the point of the Big Bang or not? Started expanding before the Big Bang?
I can't. I'm not.
From the time. Okay, so there's two separate fields now, right? We say we reach infinite equations when we reach the point of the Big Bang. That's what physicists say. They say we reach infinite equations. Means all laws does not apply there. All laws of time, space, etc. does not apply there. So whatever was there was not physical, as in our terms of physical, right? So now we have to move to something.
Energy.
Right?
Well,
Energy.
And Christians believe God is spirit, God is outside space and time, God is eternal. So we are creatures of space and time. Einstein.
Night, Christians.
Yeah, bye.
Yeah, we also don't believe God is a physical being like us that you can touch,
Space and time.
right? But I need to go as well, like you. But just consider what I said, right? Look into what I said. I was going to talk to him about whether even if you not adopt the idea the universe is eternal, there is still evidence that the creator is there. That's what I was discussing with him, right? But
you just don't know.
There's no
That's the
evidence.
thing,
So where's the evidence?
you just don't know what.
I think it could. It's definitely a possibility.
I'm not
which you cannot
denying it,
rule out, even by the scientific methods. But it's definitely not for certain.
But there's no
I don't think
evidence which
anybody can
says
say
that there is.
But you have to.
certain-
What's your name?
Rafe.
Rave.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you agree with me, Rave, and maybe we can end on this, wouldn't you agree with me that you need to first look at the evidence before you make the claim that it's just a possibility and it's not absolutely true? You need to first look at the evidences that are there, that are being presented, to actually say whether it's true or not. Would you agree that's a fair position to have? Or would you deny it without looking at it?
I wouldn't say it's the only position to have, but it is a fair position to have, yeah.
No, I'm saying it's the fair position. You're saying it's a possibility, it's not absolutely true. That's what you're saying. I'm saying, don't you need first to investigate and look at the evidences before you make that conclusion that it's just a possibility? You first look at the evidences. Maybe there is evidences that proves that it's not just a possibility, right?
Sure, but
Then you can make your
at the same
conclusion,
time,
which would be a fair position.
I mean, I think.
But in that
You need
sense,
to
with a
be a bit-
possibility, like your whole
I don't believe it's a possibility. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying I can provide evidence to show that it is not a possibility, but you are saying no, it is just a possibility. So I'm saying investigate and look at the evidences
how we know that
first.
this creator who was there before the Big Bang and all matter that we currently live in was this Islamic creator.
But you asked that question before, and I did answer that question before.
But
Because I feel like you're going in a circle now. I was saying,
fundamentally disagree.
I was saying, look, if I were to give you evidence that this book, this is not the Quran by the way, it's a different book, yeah. If You wouldn't know. It's in Arabic. It's a classical book, right? 300. It's written maybe over 1,000 years ago, so you wouldn't know, right? So let's say this book here, I have evidence, whatever that type of evidence is, convincing evidence that it is from God, right? And let's assume this book is the Quran. Then if I have evidence convincing that this cannot come from a human being, then that is a valid evidence to assume that the creator is the one that Islam is describing. Do you understand what I'm trying to say now? So if I have evidence that the Quran is from God or from a divine nature, from a nature, I do have. That's what I'm saying. I do have.
What is the evidence?
There are multiple possible interpretations of the Quran, are there not?
Gospel? What you say?
There are multiple possible interpretations.
Possible, yes.
So
I wouldn't say that necessarily, but yeah.
That to me tells me that you can't know for sure if there is just God before the Big Bang.
How did you make a conclusion from? How did you move from like different interpretations of the Quran to God?
Because you were saying that you know for sure. You don't think it's a possibility that there was God before the Quran?
No. I was answering a different question. He was saying, how do you know it's the Islamic God? And then I said to him, I answered. He was talking about the Islamic God. So that's why I was telling him in the beginning, there's two different topics. The existence of God and the evidences for it is different from Islam being the truth and has the right description of God, right? Yeah, so I was saying, you get what I'm trying to say, right? So this is what I was answering.
I don't believe in an actual materialistic God, but I do believe in religion, in the importance of religion.
Okay.
Without.
You said materialistic God, did you say?
Yeah, as in a material God.
We don't believe that God is physical as well. You can touch him and can kill him. We don't believe that.
No, but I don't mean like that either. I mean, any kind of God which actually exists. But
so that's just like saying you don't believe in a creator, right?
No, but on one hand, I don't believe that. On the other hand, I don't believe you can prove it.
Yes.
But to me, that doesn't.
You don't believe I can prove it.
That doesn't. I don't believe you can prove either way. But to me, that doesn't devalue religion.
You said your name is Raven, yeah? Rave.
To me, I don't think that religion is actually harmed by that fact.
I understand what you're saying, but what you just said there, kind of, sums up the whole discussion. Why? Because when you say you don't believe there is evidence anyways to prove the existence of a God, then what is the point of me trying to prove the existence of a God? Do you get the point of what I'm trying to say? If I say to you...
That's the other way as well. For me, I don't think you can disprove...
I understand. Yeah. But in the end, there is an answer. Like, it's either God exists or God doesn't exist, right? This is a reality now. It's either there is a God or there is no God. You're saying I cannot prove there is or there isn't, but there has to be an answer whether there is or there isn't.
It's more of a Schrodinger's answer, as in both are...
Is there a third
proposition? Just both. Like, if you can't differentiate between them, then both.
God exists and he doesn't exist in the same time.
Both are equally valid.
Do you know what the law of non-contradiction is?
Yeah, but I'm saying both are equally valid because...
But that's what I'm saying. Do you know what the law of non-contradiction is?
These are two completely improvable things, though. These are incredibly complex.
Either way.
These are incredibly complex.
I'm disagreeing with the idea that you cannot prove. But I'm saying if I were to take your position, if you say both are equally valid, you invalidate the law of non-contradiction. It's like basically saying...
It's not such a simple thing. It's not binary.
No, but you're saying both are valid. You're saying the existence of God is valid and the non-existence of God is valid, which means that he exists and he doesn't exist in the same time, which validates the law of non-contradiction.
But okay, you have a Roman...
Have you seen
2,000 years ago, you have a Roman soldier. Would he believe that a computer would be possible?
It comes across so bad.
I would need to go as well. Sorry, guys. I do have a class to give,
He doesn't know whether or not it could be possible. And so for that person, whether or not, now we know in retrospect that computers as a creation is possible. He does not know if it is possible to get something that you can program to do anything for you.
So he doesn't know whether it's possible or not.
Yeah, exactly. And so in his assumption, I mean, whether or not it is true the fact, from the viewpoint of that person who doesn't know, there's no way of proving that it was right or wrong.
But that's a claim you have to substantiate. If I claim you cannot know something, that's an active positive claim. You have to explain to me and give me evidences why we cannot access that type of information. I'm disagreeing with it. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? I'm disagreeing with your proposition.
So what is the evidence?
right?
What is the evidence?
We've been through that. So what I was given to you, which is the logical deductive reasoning.
But that's not evidence. That's just evidence.
Step by step. What we give as the logical deductive reasoning, we believe logic deductive reasoning are a form of evidence. You're claiming it's not evidence. Maybe you define evidence another way. Do you know what epistemology is?
I think.
Do you know what epistemology is?
No, we do. That's TOK. We did a whole subject of it at school.
Sure. So epistemology is the sources of knowledge. How do we learn about the world, right? One type of sources of knowledge is logic and deduction and induction. All of these types, they are types of knowledge, right? I can use deduction to come to a valid conclusion in the real world. It's a type of evidence. So which is like mathematics, 1 + 1 = 2. Now you're saying a deductive reasoning argument is not evidence, which is not valid from a philosophical point of view.
But I appreciate that the inductive reasoning in the sense that, okay, because there is a universe, we can assume that there was something before it. But how do we know?
Not only that, I said to you, remember, I said you can assume certain characteristics, which if they were not in place, the universe cannot come into existence.
I don't think the
Just like
characteristics matter though.
Genesis.
okay, but logically, using deduction, induction that you said you appreciate, we have to accept this because otherwise the universe cannot come into existence. Now, whether you work from there or not, as I said, is your choice, right? But in the end, the reasoning makes sense, is valid, unless you find me a problem in the reasoning itself.
Like in terms of
What I believe is that unlike Muslims who say that
But anyways, I need to go. I completely need to go. I need to go. No, don't worry. I need to go give. Maybe next Sunday, if you guys are here or something,
He might be.
we can have a discussion. You know, you can come, no problem. Yeah. Anyways, nice pleasure talking to you. I have to go. Nice talking to you. Sorry if I said anything offensive. It was not the. Thank you. See you, bro. Yeah.
See you.
Thank you.